I'm an engineer who fixed recurring E6 errors on my GREE system after licensed techs failed to resolve it. The issue was buried low voltage comm wires. I replaced them with above ground conduit and it's worked for over 2 years. Even with continuity, buried wires aren't reliable. Most E6 errors likely stem from voltage issues. GREE should consider prohibiting underground comm wire runs. I don't know where it would be common to run our communication wires underground. It could be, this could be global. I mean, first off, with the communication wires, if you use an SO cable, usually not burial rated
Right.
anyway. So, you're not supposed to do that anyway. As far as like how that's ran, we give our 14.4, we give stranded, we give shielded, maybe, that kind of thing. That's usually the recommendations that we give. How it goes into the building or whatever, we don't really provide much in the way of recommendations. But chances are, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if they had used shielded, if that's what was part of the issue with the communication, if they had used shielded and grounded that shielding at the outdoor unit only, they might have been able to bury that cable and use that cable as is.
I actually just had a call last week or the week before having the same type of error, E6 error code, and everything was buried underground. We checked out all the components and everything. Everything checked out as fine, and it would run for, less. I mean, it would run for about 8 hours and then throw an E6 error code. And, I started asking the technician, how is your communication ran? And he said, oh, it's all buried underground with the line sets. I said, really? All right, well, go ahead and run a temporary wire from your indoor unit all the way back out to your outdoor unit. Just do it through the driveway, obviously, where no one's going to trip. And he did that. And yeah, it definitely fixed the issue. And he called me and he was like, dude, it's still running, there's nothing wrong with it. So there was something, either, the conduit was full of water or whatever the case was, but definitely something going on in the ground inside the conduit where the communication wire was running. So
Probably some moisture.
yeah, more than likely. So
what I was going to say was, I know I've dealt with this with different manufacturers over my years, and burying line sets in the ground, any of that kind of electric in the ground, when it comes to HVAC, there's a lot of code requirements, a lot of manufacturer requirements that line set be in a conduit, completely sealed, guaranteeing there's no moisture getting in there. Because all of that plays a role in your refrigerant too. If your insulation on your line sets and everything's getting soaking wet, the insulation is no longer pliable. It's not doing anything because it's sopping wet. And then if you're getting moisture into your cable, whether it's for a multi-zone mini split, that's high voltage comms. That's not low voltage comms. And I believe the comment in there was about it being a low voltage comm wire. Well, it's not. It's high voltage. And it absolutely should be in sealed conduit if they're running that wire underground. If they just direct buried that, all bets are off. The cable ain't even ready to be direct buried.
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it's not UV resistant. A lot of it's not even what you're supposed to be using to begin with. There's a lot of different, makers out there. We don't sell wire, but there's a lot of different makers out there that sell all kinds of things that would work really great. That have like built-in conduit and UV resistance and shielding and all kinds of things just built in. But it's also more expensive than SO cable. And if you don't know, SO cable is really, really similar to like extension cord. It's from a
Well, I believe it's even got a paper wrap up in it, so if that gets wet.
yeah. I don't know how you dry it out after it gets wet.
You're not.
You're not. No.
You're not. You just blow air through it really hard.
Thanks for getting involved. If you need more answers, catch us live every month when we tackle your questions in real time. Head over to greecomfort.com/GREE-training where you can register for the next Talking Comfort Live. See you there.